Today I'm going to be covering the top 5 golden rules of creating thumbnails. When looking at the most successful thumbnails on YouTube, you'll notice that the majority, if not all of these rules come into play. And they will help get a better click-through rate and of course a ton of views. So if you're interested in that, stick around to find out what these rules are. Hey everybody, it's Graham here and welcome back. If you are new here and you would like to see more videos such as the one you're watching right now, then please take some time to like the video, subscribe and smash that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any content I release in the future. In the YouTube world, if you have been a content creator or have just started creating content on your channel, you would have heard this a million times. And that is, thumbnails are the most important thing apart from your title. Having a good thumbnail is key to any channel's success, as it leads to one of the most important metrics on YouTube, which is click-through rate. The higher the click-through rate on your video, the more successful your video will be, and ultimately the faster your channel will grow. Following a simple framework when creating your thumbnails will not only optimize your thumbnails, but will also help you to get the most success on your channel. So with that being said, let's get into the 5 rules. Rule number 1 is show your face. Yes, this will generally apply more to a personal brand channel, such as the one that you're on at the moment. But if you go and take a look at the other channels out there that are not a personal brand channel, and it may be a comedy or entertainment type channel, you will notice that in those thumbnails, there's generally a person's face or reaction within that thumbnail. An example of that type of channel is this one called Simply the Best, where you'll see in each of the thumbnails there is a person's face or some form of reaction that is happening in that thumbnail. This helps to incite the person to want to click on that thumbnail to see what the video is about. Or it can be an animal type channel, and whose face will you see on there? Some cute cat or puppy. You get my drift, it's still a face. My channel is still new, but I have tried to experiment with this, where in one thumbnail I've used my face with some silly expression such as this one, or ones without my face such as this. And the results show that the ones with my face on it have a much higher click-through rate. There can be a number of reasons for this, but YouTube is so massive with countless hours of content out there, but people still want to consume content with that personal touch. It still feels human, it still feels real. And they also want to relate to the person that they're watching the content from. So when using something like a stock photo in your thumbnail, it takes away the human element and almost commercializes the video. Again, this can be niche specific, but in my particular niche, which is a personal brand type channel and an educational channel, having my face on the thumbnails or the majority of thumbnails is super important. To help you out with this, and I know that taking pictures can be quite intimidating, stressful, and kind of awkward, because let's face it, it can be weird to stand in a room somewhere and pose randomly for a camera. You kind of feel like an idiot if you don't like taking photos of yourself. You almost look around thinking that someone's watching you even though you know there's nobody around. But when in doubt, you can use these 6 universal emotions and you should be good to go. You have happiness, sadness, surprise, fear, disgust, and anger. So now that you've seen these universal emotions, I'm hoping that it helps you come up with a little bit more variety for you and your thumbnails. One thing though is some people might get a little bit worried that their background will be a bit boring if they keep using the same background over and over. Let's say for example it's the background of your office or whatever the case may be. One thing you can do is use a free tool called remove.bg. When going to their site, it's quick and easy. You just click here to upload an image. Select the image that you want and then it will process it through on here. It then uploads it and removes the background for you. Once you've done that, you can then download the picture and use it any way you like. You can then load up your picture into Canva, select on the background and choose any background, color, picture, whatever you may like. You can then change it up quite a bit and help the variety of all your thumbnails. Rule number 2, don't use fancy fonts. On this channel, you'll see that every thumbnail has text on it. For my type of channel, which is more of a sit-down and educational type channel, it's important to use text on the thumbnails as it allows people to understand what the video may be about. I don't know if you might be the same, but I know for myself, when I scroll through YouTube on my phone, I hardly ever pay attention to the title of the video. I just focus on the thumbnail and what the thumbnail shows or says. That then guides me to either watch the video or not watch the video. And only when I'm watching the video do I then scroll down to see what the full title says. That being said, when using fonts for your text, always avoid fancy fonts. Yes, I'm not denying that fancy fonts such as these do look fantastic on a website or social media or any of those platforms. But what you need to remember here, even though they look great on websites or other platforms, they convert horribly on YouTube. One of the key reasons for this, especially on a small device such as your phone, these fonts are incredibly hard to read. Rather use a font that is clean, simple and bold to get higher visibility and a higher click-through rate, such as these ones here. What I suggest when choosing a font is when you're designing your thumbnail, minimize it down to a 10 or 20% ratio so that you can see it in small picture. So for example, on this one here, it's currently at 60%, so everything's large and looks great. But if you choose it at a 10% ratio here, what you can notice here is you can still see clearly the writing on the thumbnail. So when you shrink it down to this size and you can still see it clearly, and even if it's sitting at a 60% ratio, if you're standing 3 or 4 feet away from your computer, can you still see that clearly? That should be a determining factor, because if you can't see it clearly, then other people won't be able to either. Rule number 3, keep it simple. When creating your thumbnail, try keep it as clean and easy on the eyes as possible. And when you're using text, as I am here, try keep it below 7 words if possible. My average on my channel seems to be about the 5-word range, and if you can get it less than that, it is preferable. And why I say it's more preferable is especially for that of mobile users. They are going to be the biggest part of your audience. And when they're scrolling through their phone trying to search for a video to watch, the video with the less words but the bolder words are the ones that they're going to click on first. And the less words that you have on your thumbnail means that you can then make everything larger and clearer for a person to see. This then allows for greater impact and more views to your videos. Rule number 4, keep all the text on the left hand side and any images of yourself or other images on the right hand side. Once you've decided on what your font will be, what your text will be, and also what your facial expression will be, it's preferred to have the text on the left hand side of the thumbnail and the images on the right hand side of the thumbnail. This can be a preference for some and not for others, but as you can see on my thumbnails for my channel, I prefer having the text on the left hand side and the pictures on the right hand side. The key reason for that, and you can see here when I hover over any one of the thumbnails, there's always the things on the right hand side that pop up and block the right hand side of the picture. So rather have the text on the left hand side of your thumbnail, as that is the most important part and it doesn't cover up anything when people scroll over your thumbnail and have any icons blocking it. That way your message is clear, it's always there and never blocked out. The final rule, make it as big as you can. When referring to making it as big as possible, I'm not referring to the thumbnail itself. That is a set dimension of 1280 pixels by 720 pixels. What I'm referring to are the elements on your thumbnail. As mentioned earlier, these elements need to be large enough on the thumbnail so that if you shrink it down to a 10% or 20% size, you can still see that text or image or element as clear as possible. Or if it's still enlarged at a normal size and you're standing a few feet from your computer, it should still be clear to your eyes and you can see every part of that thumbnail. This is extremely important and something you should not neglect when creating all your thumbnails. If in your thumbnail you're trying to make a number stand out or facial reaction stand out, rather have it blown up or emphasize with a circle or an arrow or something of that sort that just seems to make it enlarge and have more of an impact to the person scrolling through and seeing that thumbnail. Whatever the element is on your thumbnail, make it big. When you're starting off your creation or your design, the best thing to do, and something I would suggest, is shrinking down your canvas to a smaller size. That way you see it as a smaller size, you design it with that smaller size, and then in turn you'll create all the elements on there as clear as possible, because otherwise you won't be able to see it properly yourself. So those are the 5 golden rules that I personally work with, and I see millions of YouTubers out there doing the same thing. If there are rules that you follow in creating your thumbnails and you think they should be included, please share them in the comments below. I'll definitely take a look at them and we can share them with everybody watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed the video, everybody. If you did, hit that like button as it'll really help out this channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any content I release in the future. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Cheers.